Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Dale Murff. He's the owner of the Claminator Clam Guns, Clam Gun Company, Clam Gun Extraordinaire. Best way? I don't know.
All of the above?
All the above. But there's other things. Now, the stamper, pounder, popper, what do you call it?
I call it a tamper.
Tamper.
Yeah, pounder, whatever.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
is a tool that you can certainly use to be more successful. It helps you see the holes that you're looking for when you're chasing these clams around. But when we wrapped up this last segment, is there anything that you do differently once you get to the beach? You know that your tide is good. You know that you're safe, okay, and you're actively chasing, showing signs, right? You're looking for signs. Is there anything that you do differently this time of year?
Basically, zeroing in on, you're looking for shows. As I'm walking down to the beach up in the dry sand, it's not dry, but it's wet, where the surf's receded. Mm-hmm. I'm looking around for donut holes or any signs of sand, or any signs of shows, excuse me, and as I walk closer, you know, sometimes they're in the surf, sometimes they're right at the surf line, sometimes they're up above the surf line a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if they're not there, then you got to start hunting, and that's where the stick comes in.
Sure. Well, in some of the videos that we're showing you right now, everyone, from the Claminator website, you can see it's not rocket science when you're talking about this tamper. It just helps you see those shows, as Dale calls them, that you can find them when they're trying to hide a little bit better. Is that a situation when they're just deeper? And you need to find, it's just harder to see their shows?
Absolutely, yep. If they're not showing, this'll get them to show a lot of the times. I tamp a grid. I'll go 20 feet, I'll come back right beside it, and go back again 20 feet, and stop and look. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes for them to pop, but a hole will open up. They feel that vibration, they retreat, they create the show.
Okay.
So Sunday when I was down there, I'd do a grid just down and back, and there'd be 15 holes. You know, not all of them were diggable size, in my opinion, but there's a lot of clams, which is going to fare well for springtime.
Okay. This time of year, are they bigger, smaller, about the same?
They're about the same. There was a mix when I was out there on the hold-up tide. Yeah, I got 7 or 8 jumbos, nice-sized clams. The fat content isn't quite as good as it is in the late spring, but there's nothing wrong with them. They're great clams. There's a lot of 3.5 inchers that they taste great. There's nothing wrong with them. They just don't fill up the bag quite as far.
Is it similar to other things that we chase around to eat, because that's what we do these things for, delicious, unruined food before you even get it? Is there a taste difference between the smaller ones and the full size?
I think they're a little bit tender. The small ones, they're all good, but well, yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with it.
They're all good to some. And I'm not going to say that I'm not a fan. I mean, I am a fan of razor clams. It just has to be done the right way, and she knows who she is out there. Makes the best clams ever, Bev. Okay, so stamper or tamper, good tool to have.
Absolutely.
Okay. Along with that, of course, the Claminator is known for his clam gun, right? Pretty simple.
I'll mention real quick the tamper. I've got a carabiner on the end. Put on the belt loop or on your ring on your waders. You can let go once you're ready to get serious and dig your clam, and you're not chasing it up or down the surf.
So it's not floating away on you?
Right, it's easy to grab and get back to work.
What's that idiot doing? Trying to get his tamper back, okay?
A lot of people that use their feet, they'll stomp. They're not throwing a temper tantrum because they're not finding clams.
Oh, well, all depends on who you are, I guess. It is 2025, you never know. Stomping your feet is pretty effective.
It's effective.
All right, so when you're actually digging them, you found them. Is everything the same there? I mean,
it is. Yep. They're always oriented 90 degrees perpendicular to the water line. They're always slightly at an angle towards the water, so you want to tilt your gun at about 5-degree angle and center it up on the hole. Give yourself the best chance of not crunching one.
Now, a little bit ago, you mentioned that the shows made you think that they weren't worth digging. What are you referring to? Just the size of the hole?
Size of the hole, typically, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm looking for at least a dime-size hole, the bigger the better.
Okay.
More of a chance that sometimes there's a donut, a big donut hole that just looks like a donut in the sand, a little volcano. Those are typically, you get a good one, you know it's going to be a decent clam.
Okay. So do you ever get, like, I'm just kind of thinking.
Doesn't always work that way.
Okay, I was just about to say, I mean, I was going to refer to like elk hunting. Sometimes you can hear a real elk, not a person, although a lot of times you hear a person, but you're hearing,
no, it
just doesn't seem like much of an elk there.
It's not 100%, but it gives you a
and then take a look down in there, and there's a 300 bull that comes walking out that's just squealing at you, right? You get tricked. So it's not always that way, but it's a good rule of thumb.
Correct.
Okay, very good. So one of the things, obviously, we wanted to point out with the Claminators, it is a little bit different than your typical clam gun. The plug that you have down here through the vent is pretty impressive. Let's get a shot with that Kershaw Tech Cam if we can. This is one of the things that a lot of people asked questions about when we had you in last time.
Right.
You know, they were asking, well, what was the purpose of it, and does it come out? And your response was no. No,
it doesn't. It's got a screw head. It doesn't come unscrew. It's a welded fixture in there. It's welded in. It can't come out.
Gotcha.
So, it seals going into the sand. So like every other vent tube on Earth, you're driving sand up the vent tube as you're going down.
And that'll plug it.
And this seals it from that happening, so you don't have to use a coat hanger to knock the sand out.
Sure. And then, of course, when you pull it out,
you pull it out, it drops, it works all by itself. Pull it out, and it's not stuck in the sand, drying a 6-foot circumference around you. And, and I'm an old guy. I'm 65. I can pull this thing with one hand. Pull the sand. So.
Which is important, right? I mean, listen.
It is. Nobody wants to work harder than they need to.
Then you need to, sure.
They all dig clams, but that's how hard you want to work for them.
Right. And we had a lot of feedback from when we had you. And of course, you know, there's a vent that's up here in the handle so that you can, once you get your finger over that, pull it out. There was a lot of people that were pretty impressed with it. We've been showing you their website, certainly something that you can find there, but a great product and some great advice, really. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there, like we mentioned earlier, that might just flat out say, well, it's just too late. We're not going to go after them. We love clamming. But, you know, if you can find those days where the weather is going to cooperate with you, because, of course, in the wintertime, you can have some absolutely beautiful days up and down the coast in December and January and February, all that. Have some great days. Just make sure you check your tides, make sure you get the weather correct, and then, of course, take Dale's advice and just be smart about what you're doing. If you're going to go out in the evening or when it's dark outside, if those tides are perfect, you know, just don't go out there alone.
I monitor the Facebook blogs. There's a couple over across the river on the Washington side, and Oregon clam digging. I'm pretty responsive to reply to those if somebody has a question, or you know, I get those all the time. I don't mind if somebody calls me.
And that's on the Facebook page?
That's on the Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can find your contact info on your
on my website. Absolutely.
Okay. Fair enough. And you can see that there is a number of different products there that will help you more successful if you are targeting clams. So certainly look into that. And great advice, man. We appreciate that.
One other thing, nighttime digs. Don't ask me how I know this, but it's a good idea to have a flashing beacon or something to leave in the dashboard of your car.
Oh, so you can find it.
Because you can walk quite a ways without realizing, and it gets pretty dark.
Okay.
And that'll guide you back to what you need.
All right, that's great advice. The first thing I'm going to say is my Chevy Silverado's got an app, and all I got to do is go, beep, and it's going to go, whoa, and light up the whole sky. Now, real quickly, I'm going to make you hang out with me. I got a phone call here from Al in Malala. He's got a question about herring. Do the best we can with that. Al, what's going on?
Yeah, I was wondering, I'm going down to the coast and fishing this weekend, and I was wondering what distance behind a 360 would you run your herring, and if you would run plug cut or whole herring?
Well, that's a great question. Number one, it's an extremely effective way to use a 360. That's actually how 360s were invented 100 years ago, was with bait behind them. So with the 360s that we're using right now, if it's an Evolution flasher from Brad's or any of the other ones that are out there, you need to have a longer leader than what you would typically have, like with a spinner or a super bait or a cut plug, whatever it might be. You just want to have a longer leader. So 38 to 42 inches is a good place to start.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and the reason for that is with the cut plug green label, it's going to put a lot more pressure on that 360 than, say, a spinner blade or those stuffer baits, right? So that longer leader behind the 360 just gives that flasher more room to move and yet still let that herring spin like it's supposed to. So just a longer leader. It's deadly effective. And a lot of people just don't do it because they fish stuffer baits or spinners, which works great. But there are times where real bait can be an advantage. So just a longer leader is all you'll need to have, right? So just think of that 36 to 42 inch range. Somewhere in there, you're going to find a sweet spot with that green label cut plug. Now, back to your other question about cut plug or whole herring. I love a whole herring behind a 360. Typically, it's going to be the really small green label out of the package that you can get away with, and you all know what I'm talking about. You'll get a package of green label. It'll be 2 or 3 of them in there that are just little skinny snivellers. Those are perfect to run whole behind a 360. Other than that, a red label is fantastic behind, or an anchovy is fantastic behind a 360 flasher. You just have to have a little longer leader to give that 360 room to rotate, right? Now, along with that, the last bit I'll give you, Al, the shorter your bumper is, the more of a rotation you're going to get in that 360. So if you're fishing and you've got whatever your leader happens to be, and you'd like to see that flasher rotate a little bit faster, or maybe get a full rotation at a slower troll speed, you can go from a 24-inch bumper to a 20 or an 18, and that'll help get a full rotation and speed that rotation of that flasher up a little bit. So a longer leader to that herring, and then sometimes, depending on where you're at, shortening up that bumper will also help with getting a good full rotation with that 360. Al, I hope that helps you out, sir. Good luck to you when you get out there. And the fishing, Al, by the way.
You. And I'd like to add, go Ducks.
Hey, go Ducks. Ducks. Don't get me started. See, now I just got sidetracked, man. I know he's talking about football, but anyway, Al, the fishing has been really, really good along the coast. So, and what you're planning on fishing with has also been very productive. We actually had a live report last weekend with Pat Abel, and that's one of his preferred ways to go after him is with a cut plug behind a 360. All right. Big thanks for coming in. We appreciate seeing you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Great advice.
Good luck hunting next week.
I just need to get out, man. I'll find him somehow, scouting. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Kyle Dotson from Orr Angling. He's actually fishing in a different location than what we typically have, chasing a different species than he typically chases when we have him on. We'll be back at that in just a minute.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Yakima Bait, steeped in tradition, innovation, and fishing success. Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective. And by North American Metals Incorporated, first choice for all your metal roofing and siding needs.